Good afternoon, everyone. It's William with the Grand Duke Dmitri Diary series. We're in 1921, and as yesterday, I'm going to try and do two diary entries today, the 5th and the 6th. And these are really the last two where it's kind of just business as usual in Monte Carlo. They're spending the days as they always do, but nonetheless, they're not without interest. As I said yesterday, we have a guest showing up. So not a guest of Dmitri's, a guest of ours, I guess you could say. Okay, so a recap for the diary entries of the 3rd and 4th. Just again, daily routine, except they went on this visit to Coaraze. I have no idea how you pronounce that. It's spelled Coaraze, and they saw the old church there. And unfortunately, Dmitri is not telling us what the sums are in this gambling he's doing. Some days he's winning, some days he's losing. In the last diary entry, he first won and then lost on the same day. But yeah, when he was back in Persia gambling, he always gave the figures, and I guess he's not doing that anymore. So we don't know. All right, 5th of April, 1921. It's a Tuesday at the Riviera Palace, in or just outside of Monte Carlo. The days passed monotonously, and strictly speaking, one could easily be satisfied with a single description of what happened during the 3 weeks I lived with Coco on the Riviera. So on that day, as usual, I went golfing on Mount Aigel in the morning, and then, having returned home and taken a bath, I went with Coco to have lunch in La Torby. We liked it there so much that, giving in to our gastronomic cravings, we decided to have dinner there that evening. Afterwards, we took a drive first to Monte Carlo. There I ran into Sophie Torby, but tortunately Coco was able to hide, and she didn't see her, meaning Countess Torby did not see Coco. Countess Torby was with some horrible fellow who had a black, shaggy beard growing out of his eyes, nose, and ears. He turned out to be the owner of a yacht that was docked in Monte Carlo, and Countess Torby was a guest on board. I had tea with Coco at Orest, after which, of course, we went to the casino, where I won again. We dined as agreed in La Torby, but I forgot to order the car, so we didn't make it there until 9:30. Naturally, dinner wasn't as good, in addition to which I was nauseated for some reason, so we returned home early. This is what I'm afraid of. I'll just make a few comments, and then I'm going to stop, and I'll do the second one probably later this evening. Or will he shut up now? Maybe? Okay. So, Countess Torby, Sophia Nikolaevna, she was a woman in her 50s, and she would actually end up dying at 59, so the clock was ticking. She was the morganatic wife of Grand Duke Mikhail Mikhailovich, and I think they had actually gotten married even the year that Dmitri was born or the year before. But yeah, so he doesn't tell us where Mikhail Mikhailovich is, and he's really not insinuating anything. He just finds this person that she's with, well, he says a horrible fellow, so it seems like he was most just reacting to the way the guy looks. So I like the way he puts it. He's being a little poetic today, talking about gastronomic cravings, and also this man had beards growing out of his, well, not out of his eyes. That confused me at first because he actually uses the word for eyes, but apparently he had shaggy eyebrows, and hair growing out of his nose and his ears, and Dmitri didn't make it to an age when that was a problem. Maybe he would have later been more sympathetic. But anyway, yeah, that is about it for this one. So let's do a dash to the diary entry of 6 April 1921. So it's a Wednesday, otherwise same place. In the morning, of course, I went golfing. The weather was excellent. We lunched, as every day this week, at La Torby, and then we went for a drive. We went to Nice because she needed to go to the bank, and then we went on to Antibes. It was amusing to see from a distance the hotel where Nikolai Nikolaevich is living, and where I had been twice myself in completely different circumstances and in a different mood. We got back to Monte Carlo around 6 o'clock and went straight to the casino, where we had tea and, of course, did some gambling. It was rather unsuccessful this time. Okay, so Crispin, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Yeah, same old thing. I mean, when he talks about monotony, boy, he's not kidding, because they're even going to the same restaurant for lunch every day. But that's all right. I mean, he's told us that he was happy with that. And this is rather curious, because Nikolai Nikolaevich... Oh, wait, I left off the concluding paragraph. We had dinner at our hotel, and Coco went to bed very early, so I wrote in my diary. I went to bed around 12:30. So Nikolai Nikolaevich and his brother had a villa in Antibes, I think, and if you recall from the January diary entries, January 1921, when Dmitri went out and visited him at the villa a few times, that's where he was living. So I don't know why he would be living in a hotel. But, yeah, I guess at that time, for whatever reason, he was. And Dmitri doesn't tell us what hotel it is. I think, where was Dmitri staying back in January? I think the Hotel de Paris. Either that or it was the Palace, but maybe I'm getting that mixed up with St. Moritz, the Palace Hotel in St. Moritz. But anyway, I was too lazy to go back and look at those January entries to see what hotel Dmitri had entered precisely 2 times, and whether his mood would have been better or worse than at the moment, although I don't think he's in a bad mood per se at the moment. He's just a little mildly depressed. Okay, and I guess, from what I can tell from how he's using language at the moment, specific to him, when he has been saying that they go to bed early, he really means they go to bed. I mean, they each get in their bed and go to sleep. And this time Coco is going to bed really early. She doesn't seem to be a person who stays up late, although she's always still in bed when Dmitri goes off golfing in the morning. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but he writes his diary, so we can all be grateful that he had that free time to do that. And yeah, what next time? Well, we're finally getting back into some more interesting territory. Next time there will be an incident that will either cast some light on his relationship with Coco, or the opposite, will make it even more confusing, depending on how you interpret it. So, I'm a bit bewildered by this one, and it's a little bit, Dmitri would use the word sordid, of course, but yeah, we'll see. And so the day after that, on the 8th, they will be leaving Monte Carlo, and they will also have an interesting day on the 8th. And then we'll be on the road. So come back for those, and the routine will be changing. And all right, I'll see you next time. Bye.